Hey yo, what is up? Tiger Mouse is all the rage right now. Everyone is talking about this tank. Obviously, you're getting some kind of behemoth of a tank, a mouse turret on top of an E100 or I don't know, E50 chassis. I think it's more of an E100 chassis. They've made some changes to it, and today we're going to talk a little bit about it. It looks like it's reached its final iteration, and we're about a month away from it releasing, and the rumor is it's going to be on the Christmas loot boxes, and I have no reason to doubt it because it is being leaked on one of the more reliable websites. This is going to be tier 9, 1950 hit points. This has a 1200 horsepower engine, so it sounds like it has really good mobility with that kind of size of engine, but this is actually a 120 ton tank, so the power to weight ratio only 10. This means it is a really slow lumbering, super heavy kind of tank. As usual, super lumbering heavy tanks have incredible armor. The mouse is known for its armor, so is the E100, so you get a combination of the both. This is like Thundercats, right? When you combine the both, you have something absolutely incredible. But they did nerf it a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit about it. This thing has a forward speed of 32 kilometers an hour with that 10 power to weight ratio. In reverse, it was supposed to do 16, and now it is nerfed down to 15 kilometers an hour. The traverse speed on the hull is 29 degrees per second. The gun traverse is 21 degrees per second. It has a view range of 400 meters. Pretty good view range, but remember, this is a tier 9, so you are expected to get around that kind of view range anyway. The hull armor 200 millimeters frontally, and it is sloped, so if you hit that part of the hull, it's just gonna bounce, but you know, it has a huge chin there, the huge lower plate. That's going to be weak. Obviously, you're going to definitely pen that. They did nerf the rear of the hull armor. It was supposed to be 120 millimeters. It is now 100 millimeters. It is slightly sloped downwards. I don't know how much difference that's going to make. It's going to be like a frontal plate, a lower front plate kind of angle, so maybe that will help it. I have no idea. The turret armor, however, is 300 millimeters. Now you know how armored the mouse is, so this is 300 millimeters frontally, 150 on the side, and it's sloped on the side, and 140 millimeters from the back, which is pretty flat. However, if you know anything about mouses, you know exactly to shoot right here on the frontal plate with some heat or something like that. You probably be able to pen it. This gun, however, is a 128 millimeter. I don't know what kind of gun it is. It's some kind of naval gun or whatever. 128 millimeters. It does 530 alpha and 670 if you fire HE. 246 penetration on stock shells, 311 on premium shells. Yeah, the average damage per minute was nerfed from 2100 to 2072. That is because they increased the reload time from 14.86 seconds to 15.34. The dispersion, it was nerfed as well. It was 0.35 dispersion, which is actually pretty good for a German super heavy tank. They've nerfed it down to 0.37 with a 2.3 second aim time. Gun depression is 7 degrees, minus 7 degrees, which again, for a super heavy tank and for a tank with a rear turret, 7 degrees gun depression isn't too shabby. It's actually not too bad. It's kind of, you know, a lot better than some Soviet tanks that only have 5 degrees, 6 degrees of gun depression. The gun elevation 23 degrees, so you look up 23 degrees, no problem. The dispersion, the moving dispersion, we have some news of the moving dispersion. It was 0.18, which is actually pretty good for a super heavy tank. It has been nerfed to 0.22. This means you probably hit nothing on the move. You need to come to a stop. You need to take your aim time a little seriously, your 2.3 seconds to aim, and then fire off your gun. And then hopefully your 0.37 dispersion lets you hit something. So that is what I'm gleaning from the stats of the Tiger mouse. I do feel like this is actually a very good looking tank. It has the attributes of the traditional super heavies that we're used to seeing from the past. It is kind of nostalgic. I know not a lot of people are playing the mouse or the E100. These are one of the oldest tanks in the game. But when you have a new tank like this come out, a Tiger mouse, a combination of two old tanks, it's kind of like nostalgic. A lot of people you're gonna see this tank on the battlefield quite a bit because it's going to be a new tank, and you know, maybe it might rekindle some of that love for the old guard, the actual mouse and the actual E100. You know, it could be good for the game, I don't know. But yeah, if you take a look at the armor profiles, there have been some nerfs to the armor profile that needs to be mentioned. The sloped frontal upper or the upper plate was supposed to be 200 millimeters of thickness. You know, it's sloped and 200 millimeters, so the effective thickness was going to be 200 plus. You're gonna have actually quite a lot of armor, but they've nerfed it down from 200 to 140. So 140 thickness plus the sloping, your effective armor, I don't know what the effective armor is going to be now, but it is significantly reduced. You know, maybe they found this tank a bit too OP, too strong in tier 9, so they've gone ahead and done that. The lower frontal armor plate as well, it was 145 millimeters and it was sloped, and they've reduced it from 145 to 140, so they reduced 5 millimeters of lower frontal armor plate. And the side armor plate as well, the skirting on the E100, if I'm not mistaken, the side skirts are like they work as spaced armor, and they provided a little bit of protection because of that spaced armor, and now it has been removed, no longer having any kind of spaced armor. If you look at the armor profile, you know, on the armor profile website, you can see that that skirting no longer provides any kind of spaced armor. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. How will it actually affect the performance of the tank? We'll find out. This stat is published November the 3rd. It is now November the 14th, and it looks like this tank is about 2 weeks, 3 weeks away, and this looks like the final stats, but we'll see what happens. What do you think about the Tiger mouse? Let me know, and we will have a chat in the chat below. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.